Not just you as personally, or within your culture, do you guys honestly feel like you, as the Spanish culture, are better than black women? Yes or no?
I mean, all right.
Don't.
Answer the question, though. Answer the
Stop.
question.
You
Let her
know what it
answer.
is? Stop.
Let her fill in.
For most, like, to me personally, no. To me, no, because I was raised with blacks. Like I said, but to other Spanish women, yeah.
She didn't think that she was personally better, but in general, Latinas think they are better than black women. I really appreciate her honesty, but black women, you need to be concerned about what black men think. That's your mate, and that's not her fault. It's the black woman who posed that question to her. And I'm still trying to understand why, because all the issues that black people have, a lot of these problems can be solved within, and not being concerned with what other groups of people think. Conversations like this, they're usually used as a deflection, especially for black women, instead of looking within to figure out, okay, how can I be a better woman? How can I make a good wife to a husband? How can I be a great mother? And that's exactly why a lot of you are single right now. You don't listen to what he's looking for, and you try to deflect by saying, oh, you don't like black women anyway. You're not being a woman. You're not being the wife.
Welcome back to Authentic Alphas. It's me, Allende, and tonight I'd like to discuss the most hypocritical and problematic aspects of the modern black female mentality. So this is obviously a very controversial subject. There's a lot of arguing throughout the years. I mean, this is a pretty old argument at this point. I feel like it's been escalating for at least a couple of decades now. So what I want to do is find ways to discuss this topic less offensively, which is going to be extremely difficult, but I'm up for the challenge. So I put together a list of 10 things that I find very hypocritical about the modern Western black woman's mentality. And I think that these are some of the things that are preventing us from making any progress as far as that gender dynamic is concerned between black men and black women. And I feel like by listing them, I'm going to make it really difficult to attack me as an individual. You know, you're going to have to first argue my points. So lately I've been putting together lists. That way, if anybody want to come for me, I welcome you. But you got to get through that list first. Whatever that list might be, get through that list first. Debate me on that list before you come to me with your feelings and your emotions and your bullshit. And I think that's the best way that I can kind of set the stage for a somewhat progressive conversation. So there's going to be some clips from like Cynthia G, Tanya TKO. Women like that I would love to debate. So I'm instigating it. I'm poking the bear. And I want to see which black woman, which content creator wants to debate me on their views, because let's face it, their views seem to be very, very similar, right? Very, very negative towards black men. And the more and more I try to like look into this content, I don't see anything of any substance. I have a hard time finding any concrete arguments coming from so-called black women, but they are very, very passionate about these negative views and perspectives on black men. And it's funny because they love grouping black men together, but yet they don't want to be grouped together. But I find their behavior a lot more similar and predictable than black men. I find black men to be a little bit more diverse, to come in a little bit more variety, so to speak. But anyway, let's get on with it. And I'm going to check out a number clip, and we're going to go ahead and get through this list. But the first one that I have on here, we can go ahead and knock that out of the park. All right. So before I get to the first one, I want to state my agenda so that I can be clear. All right. So this particular video, my goal is to do two things: to give black women the truth as I see it, right? And that's coming from a place of love, you know what I mean? But I got to keep it funky. I got to keep it real. I got to keep it honest with them. And I'm willing to do that with the fellas on any topic as well. So that's the first thing, is that this is kind of just a public announcement for black women. This is how a lot of black men feel, including myself. And we're being logical here. We're being rational with this. And it needs to be taken seriously, because the black women are the ones that are suffering the most. Now, that brings me to my second agenda, which is to basically tell men that everything that I'm going to talk about, you don't got to put up with this shit. It's that simple. You don't owe your race this, or your people, or your community. If someone's being difficult, you don't have to put up with their shit just because they're in a bad situation. That's like saying that you need to give money to a homeless person because they're struggling. That's not your responsibility. If you want to give charity, give charity. But the least that person can do is be humble and try to work with you. So for the black women, public service announcement. For the fellas, you can do better. And throughout the video, I'm going to be showing you clips. And in between those clips, there's going to be images of extremely beautiful colored women that aren't American. They're not Western. And a lot of them are from non-English speaking countries. And that's there to inspire you guys. That's there to let you know that this has nothing to do with colorism. This has nothing to do with dark skin. This has nothing to do with black women's appearance naturally. Now, what they do to themselves, that's a whole nother story. But as far as them in their flesh, them in their skin, they are very beautiful. They're just as beautiful as any other women, right? So the point is that if you like black women as far as the appearance, guys, you have plenty of options. You have plenty of beautiful dark skin, brown skin, caramel skin, whatever your preference is. There's plenty of them that don't come with this brainwashed hate man, especially hate black man. And I refuse to serve you. Be subservient, be submissive, be cooperative, agree, follow your lead, respect you, or anything of that. There's plenty of women who don't follow that mindset. And I want you guys to know that. Now, you might have to get your money up. You might have to get that passport valid and go seek these women. And I obviously am not recommending that you bring those women to America, because then they would just become American. That's how these women got this way. So it is like a disease. It's like a plague, right? There's a Western plague. And again, this is all by design. So I don't want you to think that this is about blaming black women. This is about blaming black women, because I know it's not their fault. The sad thing is that they think they're strong and brave and independent, and they think for themselves, and this is organic. No, they are brainwashed. They are conditioned. All right. And they're domesticated. So just like animals on a farm. Okay. They don't see it. And they have too much ego to even believe that they've been fooled. Like the saying goes, it's easier to lie to someone than convince them that they've been lied to. All right. So without further ado, let's start getting through this list, guys. This is going to be a long one. So buckle up, and I'm going to start from the top. So 10 examples of hypocrisy in black women. And number one would be they hate being compared to other women, yet they refuse to compete for their men. So one thing that always triggers black women is comparing them to Latin women, like the clip that you just saw. Just like when Kevin Samuels just recently said that Hispanic women were black women's, he uses the word enemy, but I know he meant competition. And black women were triggered all over the world, all over the damn country. They were triggered everywhere where they speak English. They were extremely pissed off. But instead of putting that energy into learning what it is that Latinas possess or exude or exhibit that's quote unquote better, you get vitriol. You get victim, status, and why you tearing down black women and why you bashing black. It's ridiculous. But yet when black women say that black men are being outperformed by white men or any other men, that's okay for them to say. It's okay for them to say that we're not being competitive enough, or we're not achieving enough, or we're not the dominant society, or we don't have control of our communities. They can criticize and judge us all day long, right? So the weak have the privilege of judging who's supposed to be strong. But here's the thing, though. Men and women is a symbiotic relationship. In every culture, in every community, the men and women need to work together. So in short, black men can only be as good as black women support them to be, if they expect to do this with black women. You can't fight the world, battle the world, and then come home and you got to fight with your woman. It's counterproductive. And us men need that energy to go back out there and so-called compete. But a lot of black men are saying, well, fuck it. I'll just go where I'm wanted, go where I'm appreciated, go where I'm respected, and more importantly, go where the women are cooperative.
And as women, they're raised to be a wife.
But why isn't a black woman raised that way?
Most black women are raised to be independent. Remember, let's be real. Most black women are raised to be strong, tough, independent, and don't take no shit. The daddy wasn't shit. I'll raise you alone by myself. Be a strong black woman. So they come into the game with their guard up ready. Spanish girl is raised to serve. They be cooking for their father at a young age, washing the dishes, washing the table, mopping all Saturday morning. Let's face it, they're raised to serve. If one time I swear to God, I'm at a girl's house having dinner. I got up with my own plate, put it in the garbage, put it in the sink. Her mom spazzed on her in Spanish about da 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 da. Now, in the black woman's house, if I get up with my own plate, she gonna say, "That's a damn good nigga. He got his own shit. I like him, Shirley. He got his own shit." But Maria better get up and get that plate and get it washed and show him you are a wife.
Okay, so that would be number one. Learn to compete, black women.
My next guest, Chip, is a single mother who says she's angry that mothers with partners complain at all.
My name is Chip, and I'm a single mom to a 7-year-old little boy named Legend. 2 months ago, in order to create a stable income for me and my son, I moved to Los Angeles to follow my dreams of being a stand-up comedian. I had to leave my son behind in Maryland with my parents. Hey, Legend, how was your day today? I'm sick and tired of these entitled moms complaining about the pandemic when they have so many resources. They have a husband, they have money, and they have a future. Not everybody has those luxuries, and they need to be humble.
Now, number two. Black women claim to be strong and independent mothers, yet they complain endlessly about not having a man to raise their children. So it's needless to say that becoming a single mother is a choice no matter which way you cut it. Okay? Unless a man, forced himself on you and took it from you, or your husband died, it's a result of your decisions. Okay? You choose to give that man your number. You choose to go on a date with that guy. You choose to have sex with that guy. You choose to get pregnant by that guy. You choose to keep said baby by that guy. All I see is a long chain of choices that the woman had. So any woman that's adult age and doesn't realize that men are interested in them for sex is just either being disingenuous or she has to be an idiot. I mean, the saying men only want one thing, like, come on, man. We all know that's the expectation, right? We all know that's the assumption. So for women to act like, oh, you wanted to have sex with me? You don't say. And if you know that men want to have sex with you and you know that sex is how babies are made, you understand the risk that you're taking. Everything in life is a risk. If you drive in speed, that's a risk. You don't wear your seatbelt, that's a risk. You commit a crime, that's a risk. You invest, that's a risk. Risk, 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 risk. Well, guess what? Sex is a risk too, okay? So black women should already know what they're getting themselves into. Now, granted, there aren't fathers in the home to teach this level of discipline and restraint and chastity. But wouldn't that be a good reason to not, repeat the cycle?
You give more energy to a guy of color than a guy not of color.
Yeah, I notice them more, and I'm more prone to speaking back to them or responding to them rather than the white men.
What do you mean you notice them more? Like, you don't notice the white guy standing right there, but you notice the black guy?
No, if it's like an average looking white guy, making a pass or paying attention to me, I see through them. I don't even look at them.
And what about an average looking black guy?
I'll probably notice them more than a white guy, yeah.
So why? Why is this?
They're black.
There you have it.
Let's move on to number 3. So, black women complain that non-black women and light-skinned women get all the attention from men, right? And they get approached more. But yet any man will tell you that black women are amongst the hardest women to approach, right? The hardest women to approach, hardest women to talk to, hardest women to get along with. But yet they're upset that light-skinned girls tend to get more attention and that non-black girls tend to get more attention. So if you got a group of girls hanging out and maybe 1 or 2 of them are black and the rest of them are something else, the other ones tend to get more attention. Well, no shit. Well, no shit. Right? So if you're always negative, you're always disrespectful, you give guys a hard time when they're just trying to say hi, they're just trying to be nice. And I'm talking to men here, so I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Any guys that have hit on black women know that they make it extremely difficult. Now, I know why this is, and I try to explain it to guys. Don't take it personal. What it is that when you're hitting on black women, they have low self-esteem. And I'm sure many black women are going to get upset that I said that. They're going to get triggered. Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, knock it off. All right. They understand that they're not considered beautiful in mainstream terms. Now, you would think that wouldn't matter to them as long as their own men are attracted to them. Oh, but no. Women don't care about that. They don't care what you think as an individual. And they damn sure don't care what black men think. Nope, they want to be on the cover of magazines. They want to be the main character in movies. They want to be the love interest for the white boy too. And if they're not, they're upset. Okay, they're insecure about it, and it lowers their self-esteem. So what happens is they're the ones that have embodied these stigmas and these beliefs in this European standard of beauty. They've accepted it. They keep projecting it on us men. But the reality is the men aren't the ones changing our appearance. We're not running around trying to look like white boys. We're not bleaching our hair and bleaching our skin. It's black women who are known universally for spending all their hard-earned money on trying to look like non-black women. That's a fact. It's not something that we can argue. We all have eyes. We all know this. And that is the industry that black women spend the most money into, is hair. It's also a fact. It's just economics, man. You can look this shit up. That's where they spend their money, which is sad because they own the least like hair companies. The Chinese are running that whole market. So you have the Chinese making millions or billions of dollars every year, selling black women fake hair, false hair, wigs, whatever the hell, weave, whatever, right? So they don't believe that they're the standard of beauty, even though their own men overwhelmingly choose them. Okay, because that's bullshit. Over 80% of black men date black women and are interested in black women and are attracted to black women. So your preferences aren't enough for them, which is funny because they get mad when a black man says he has a different preference, yet they don't care or value that the majority of black men do prefer black women. They don't even care. They don't care about the ones that like them, but they get upset over the few, the 15, 20% that has said, fuck it, I'm going to go do something else. Like, hypocrisy right there. Call that hypocrisy 2.5. All right. But anyway, so I try to tell guys, when you're hitting on black women and they give you all that attitude, bro, don't take it personal. Because what they're doing is they're basically shit testing you. They're trying to see, well, how hard is he going to work? How much is he going to go through to get me? How much of my shit is he going to put up with to prove that he really, really is interested? Now, I know guys are thinking, well, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, well, how much of what women do makes sense?
This might be our craziest video.
I'm talking logical. I'm saying that these men don't serve a purpose to you. They don't care anything about the continuity of blackness because they're creating a whole bunch of biracial children. The largest growth was not in the black community. It was among biracial and multiracial people. Black men are already erasing you where they can. And that's why I asked.
Whoa. This is actually crazier than what I thought he was about to say. This is nuts, dog. That you yourself, there isn't some other form of race in your background of your family, and you still consider yourself a black woman is crazy. That just means that you would still view some form of mixture or mixed racing still resulting in being black. That makes no sense at all. But still, her conclusion of saying, since they already doing it, we might as well just get rid of them too, is crazier, bro.
Do you think that if black men had the power to really control whether we exist or not, do you think that they give birth to us? And now we know men don't give birth, but where black men are already showing you what they would do. They wouldn't be creating biracial. They wouldn't be creating black children, and they're not. They're creating biracial children.
Hold on, let's pause that.
And
bro, this is so dumb. It's an irrefutable fact that majority of black men marry black women. It's an irrefutable fact that black men have children with black women. It is an irrefutable fact.
So, number 4, black women constantly devalue and talk badly about black men publicly, okay? And most of it is nonsense. I'm sorry, most of what they say is nonsense. Their talking points are just like, it's bullshit. And then the crazy thing is, this is something that women do across the board. They complain about and, criticize and ridicule and whatever men in general for what the men they choose do. And they really don't understand the math of this. Like, every group of women does the same nonsense. They say all guys are this, all guys are that. And it's like, chick, those are the dudes that you date. What you're describing, most guys don't even have the option to do. Most guys don't even got it like that to do what you're talking about doing. All men cheat, but dude, most men can't even get one woman. So how are they cheating? Most dudes can't even get a chick to cheat on, right? All they just want to have babies all over the place. Actually, most men don't have kids. It's most women that have kids because they're having babies with the same dudes that you're complaining about. So yeah, unfortunately, majority of men are invisible to women. So when they describe men in general, they're always talking about the men that are on their radar, which happens to be the small pool of men that they keep on pulling from, and then wondering why those guys aren't committed to and only focusing on them. Well, those dudes have all the options, stupid. I'm going to get frustrated before I even get halfway through this list. It's so ridiculous. But again, the title is The Hypocrisy. So the point is that none of this shit makes any sense. It's like opposite day. All right, so that's number 4. Okay, they talk terrible about black men publicly, but yet they get upset when black men just simply tell the truth about how they feel about black women. All right? And most of what black men say about black women publicly is actually true.
I love black men so.
Here's an example of a non-black woman who's really into black men. And what black women don't understand is that quality black men, they are wanted by not just black women, but all races of women. And one of the reasons why it's so easy for some of those non-black women to get with black men is because a lot of black women, they don't understand the value of black men. They'll say, no, we'll treat the quality black men better. But the truth is, they treat all black men the same. No matter if he's average or above average, he could be a cart attendant or he could be an attorney. There's always still this same underlying disrespect that black women show to black men. And black women, if you're tired of being single and not getting picked out there, then the issue could be your disrespect that you have for black men.
Women. And the reason I pose this question is because black women often will not think about these things, and I understand why. We live within the confines of a black male worshiping culture, so seldom do we think beyond black male worship. And what I mean when I say that is we don't think about the treatment that black men subject us to. We don't think about how they funnel resources into other communities, how they praise and worship other groups of women. We will talk about it, but we don't really think about it on a deep level. We don't think about the fact that there's nothing that black men do to show love and appreciation for us as black women.
I'm so sick of this topic, bro. Like, I'm so sick of these bitter black women, bro. I'm so sick of them.
Y'all want to hold down
for
your race better, y'all gotta stop being bitches.
Bro, yo, pleading for validation and shit, like, bro.
All I can think.
All right, so number 5, they claim that black men are taking time, energy, attention, and resources from the black community and spending it elsewhere. This is what they claim, right? Because there's a few guys who are having mixed children and marrying non-black women and going off and living happily ever after. Somehow that's all black men now are ignoring the black community and turning their back on the black community and going elsewhere with their money. Which is interesting because the data shows that, again, over 80% of black men still got their ass in the black community, still dating black women, and when they have children, it's with black women. So who are they talking about? Are they talking about the celebrities that have all the options? Okay, are they talking about the successful guys? Because a lot of successful black men that aren't famous still choose black wives. So who are they actually talking about when they say these things? But I tell you this much. I'm advising you guys to do just that. If you're having a hard time dealing with these women, they don't want to cooperate, they're making life difficult, you don't deserve it and you don't got to deal with it. If they can't deal with their traumas and you either don't have these traumas or have dealt with yours, bro, go where the women are going to work with you.
On the internet every single day, black children being raised by single mothers who are failing them. And it's time that they be held accountable. We talk about black men and their failings, and we are 100% correct, that's fine, but we're not talking about them today. This is about black women, the black women who choose to have children by these black men, and what happens once they get here. You might be a little upset, but you know what? It has to be said, and well, it doesn't have to be said, but it's going to be said. Now, let me be clear, because you have to say these things. Obviously, I am not talking about all single black mothers. I am talking about the bad ones. I am talking about the mothers who humiliate their children and live stream it. I am talking about the mothers who neglect their children, who abuse their children. I am talking about the women who throw their children away like trash. I am talking about the women who bring monsters home to their children. And I am talking about the black single women who create monsters.
So, number 6. Black women argue that black men don't want, care for, or take care of their children. Right? Now, this is interesting because these black single mothers claim that black men are just like these terrible fathers and the worst fathers. But I don't know, man, because statistically speaking, black women are actually the worst mothers. And I'm going to leave that at that because you guys can look into that. I'm not even going to argue.
She got the gun on me. He about to hit me with the car. Call him. I'm telling. Get the license plate. Get the license plate. Get the license plate now. Because you were never about to hit me with the damn car. Hit me with the car? Both of y'all put the guns down on me, okay? I got it. Don't you jump behind me. No, I ain't jumping behind your car. What you want? Your husband was hitting me. Do you see that?
Over to number 7. Black women like to act hard and, boastful and gangster, and I don't take no shit. And they're quick to, curse out a Karen and argue with somebody non-black. But then the moment that them guns come out, the moment that them white people let you know, hey, listen, my shit licensed, man. I'm licensed to carry. And you're yelling and you're moving your hands and you're threatening me and your body language, I don't like it. And they back out. Now all of a sudden these black women want to scream racism. Oh, this white woman did this. No, that white woman was defending herself. You thought that you were going to be able to bully her just because she was white. Black women have a bad habit of assuming that somebody is soft and is going to put up with their shit just because they're black. Not everybody's scared of black people. So that's a thing. I've seen it in middle school. I've seen it in high school. And I see grown ass women thinking that they can throw their blackness around and bully and intimidate other women and other men. I've seen black women get all up in white men's faces and put their hands up in the face. Remember that clip that went viral just not too long ago? Those black teenage girls thought that they could bully that white man at the mall and he just knocked one of them the fuck out. Now, I'm not saying that men are supposed to knock out women. I'm just saying y'all thought he wasn't going to do anything. And he did. So black women expect black men to stand in their pain, stand in their trauma with them. So in other words, black men are supposed to be your punching bags. We're supposed to tolerate all outbursts, all unruliness, all bad behavior and disrespect from you because life was hard for you growing up as a black woman. Oh, that's right, because life is so easy for us black men growing up, right? And furthermore, why would black men be your punching bag? Why are black men supposed to sit here and put up with all your nonsense? Because you had a tough childhood. My advice to men is don't put up with women that are unlucky, okay, that are traumatized, that have issues. Bro, you don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. You don't have to do it. And this isn't even a black woman thing. This is women across the board. If she has daddy issues, get the fuck out of there. Okay, she got trauma, whatever. Bro, get the fuck out of there. And I'm telling you why. Because it's not because I'm trying to tell you to be heartless. Okay? Because I do the opposite. I don't get the fuck out of there. I try to help that person. I try to work through it with them. The thing is that not everybody can handle that. If you're not like a therapist, you're not a professional, you probably can't. Right? I do it because I've been able to get relatively good results with it. So why give up on people if there's a chance that I can help a woman, a female? But for the most part, you don't want to get involved with it because a lot of times there's nothing you can really do. And also that person has to want to work through those issues. And a lot of these women don't even want to address the issues. They don't want to do any type of work. They don't want to do any type of therapy. They don't want to do nothing. They want to hit you with the take me as I am, accept me as I am. Right? And then every once in a while that trauma is going to pop up and it's going to fuck your life up and she's going to use it as a scapegoat and you're supposed to just forgive her because, past traumas. All right. So black women expecting black men to stick through their traumas with them. But what I find hypocritical about that is they're not willing to work on their traumas or appreciate the black man that is trying to, quote unquote, stand in it with them.
I don't think that's true.
Looking back on it, I actually think it's exactly what it was. I was just really tired of feeling like I was completely useless. Okay? I hated the feeling like no matter how hard I tried, no matter what I wanted to do to understand what was going on with you, I couldn't help.
Well, with all due respect, I never asked you to help me.
Maybe you didn't, but you were going through shit, and I was there to see it, and I was there for you. And you know what, maybe I will never understand your trauma or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm sorry, but I was there for you, and I was trying. And I don't think you were able to see that.
When the world tells you that a part of you that you can't change is like bad. It's sort of like, it starts to make you like hate yourself.
For years, black people have been trying to value themselves, whitewash themselves, and we've been calling it self-hate. When black women would say that they wanted mixed-race children just so that they could have good hair, we called it self-hate. When black women straightened their hair, bleached their skin, wore weave, we called it self-hate. But never did we hear white women say that these black ladies were doing whiteface or cultural appropriation. We all grew up in a mixed culture, and looking back now, there were plenty of white and Asian girls who would do what we would now class as cultural appropriation. Yet, we saw nothing wrong with it because, well, it was our culture. It was like all of our culture. We all grew up in mixed neighborhoods, we all listened to different kinds of music and ate different kinds of food. It was the norm. White girls would came over black girls' hair and do their own hair the same. It was normal. Then as we got older, we kind of left that bubble that is high school and discovered European standards of beauty. That's when we started to drift apart and find our own outside sources and emulate whatever we saw as beautiful. See, nowadays, the majority of these white women that are doing it grew up in white communities. Some from countries that are still quite racist. They didn't grow up around our culture. Some of them don't even have black friends. Yes, we can say that this whole social media era has created a shift in beauty standards, and they are just doing what they think is beautiful. But I think the reason why a lot of people have an issue with this is because, unlike us, they were not oppressed. They were not made.
So, number 9, black women are triggered when other women wear their fashion or their hairstyles. They call it, cultural appropriation and whatever the hell else they want to call it. But yet these same black women are damn near going broke and bankrupt trying to buy blonde wigs and weaves and green and blue contacts and all this expensive European designer fashion. So it's okay for you to wear European fashions and styles, but white women or non-black women can't wear what's supposed to be Afro fashions or whatever. Okay, so you can have a blonde wig, but a white chick can't have cornrows. Again, hypocrisy. It's hypocritical, and it's ridiculous and petty.
For this, I was like, is that him? Minana, when I want to say it is or is not, right? These photos are from 2014. We're gonna read it. I'm gonna show you up close. Now take a look, right? You see his face. You see there's a man hugged up on him in the bed while another man, shirtless man, sits hither, adjacent to the pair, right? While another man sits adjacent to the pair, right? And so here. So let's read what this says. So this is from February 1st, 2014. A big happy birthday goes out to my boy, Aru Fudi. I want you all to remember that, or Fudi, however you want to pronounce it. Leaving soon for Georgia, then Texas. I'm going to miss you, my loud black buddy. And then there's some other words and hashtags and all of that. So you see homeboy is laid up in the bed while a shirtless man grapples him from atop. You see it. You see it. We all see it, right? But there's more. There's more. Because, listen, there's more. There's more. Let's scroll. Here we go. Another one. Oh, no context on this one. Oh, when he said, I'm not down with the brown, oh, he did not lie.
About enough is enough with this whole everybody hates black women thing. And I realized something. Over the years, I've been cheating myself. I read through a lot of the comments then and on other videos where a lot of black women have said, yeah, maybe we are bitter, but we have a reason to be. Or maybe we are angry. Well, you know what? I'm angry and I'm bitter about some shit. And all this time, I've cheated myself out of the opportunity to express my bitterness and my anger. And I think I'm finna do it right now because I'm just on that bullshit this Wednesday. And I don't know for whatever reason, but here it is. Let's talk about the dynamic between the black woman and the black gay man. Okay, here is the first myth I want to debunk for y'all. The moment y'all get mad with a gay man, the first insult you want to hurl is, you just mad because you want to be me. You wish you was a real woman. You wish you had a real vagina. You wish. No, the fuck we don't. No, like newsflash. No, the entire fuck we don't. It is not a one-to-one exchange because we end up having to be everything your girlfriend can't and everything your man won't. And I'm about to get on that in a second. Here is what I want to say happens as a result of us spending so much time with y'all. We become your girlfriends and we become your husbands. We end up holding your purses and your secrets. Women, for whatever reason, y'all are in so much competition with one another that you'll call a bitch your best friend, but you scared to give her your real tea because you scared to let Fish think she got a leg up on you, but you'll run to one of us to have to be your Iyanla Vanzant and your Dr. Phil. And the gag is you think we actually want to hear the shit, but we know we have to be your lover and your secretary, so we sit there and we listen to the damn bullshit, all while changing your tire. You know what I'm saying? It's just weird. And see, here's the thing that really gets me about the dynamic between black women and black gay men. A lot of times I question, do y'all really even give a fuck about us? I question that. I don't see you naked. We don't slept in the bed with each other. We don't ate off the same fork. I don't did your hair, your makeup. I watch your kids. I'm there for you in the spaces your husband ain't there for you, and there for you in the spaces that your true girlfriend ain't there for you. But the moment you get mad, all of a sudden you move us magically out of your good girlfriend box, and now we a man again. Case in point, let us get into an argument. Y'all will run up in our face, put your hands in our face, all of this right here, talk crazy. Then the minute I get up, ready to protect myself or just give you back what you gave me, now all of a sudden, magically, I'm no longer your girlfriend, the sissy, your good Judy. I'm all of a sudden a man, and now you gotta call your cousins, uncles, and brothers. Or y'all do this magical thing where y'all got this unspoken rule that it is okay for y'all to do all this in a man or a gay man's face. And simply because I got a dick between my legs, I'm supposed to sit there and just take it.
Yeah, okay, so let's just get to the last one here, which I've always found kind of interesting. So black women befriend gay black men when it's convenient and when it's beneficial to them. You know, like, oh yeah, he could be like my girlfriend and he can like do all the stuff that a man would do if I had a man, but I don't have a man because my attitude's terrible, so none of my relationships last long. So what I'm going to do is just, instead of using a straight man and exploiting him for whatever attention, validation, resources, favors, whatever I could get from him, oh, I know what, I'll just take advantage of a gay man because he'll put up with my shit long term. But the interesting part about that is that when they're ready to insult a heterosexual black man, what do they call him? Gay. So I'm confused. If gay is such a bad thing, then why you besties with a gay guy? You see what I mean? So whenever you're good and ready, being gay now becomes some type of slur that you could throw at somebody, something derogatory. But when gay benefits you, then you're besties with gay. You're a friend with gay. See what I'm saying? So I might not agree with the gay lifestyle. I might not partake in it, but I got a lot of gay friends, and what they do on their personal time, what their sexuality is, it's none of my business. I kind of stay out of it. But at the same time, I can't be like, I got a problem with gay people, but then I got gay friends. It doesn't work. Okay? I can't say, oh, I'll do business with these people. Oh, but I won't do business with this person because they're gay. That's none of my business, right? But it's funny how they're ready to throw that at a black man as some type of derogatory slur. So if I'm telling somebody, listen, man, I don't like your energy right now. I don't like your mindset, man. You're like a chick. You got a feminine ass mind. You're saying a bunch of girly ass shit to me. That's not an issue with gay people. That's just saying that I wouldn't argue with a female, so I don't want to argue with a dude that's coming at me, with a feminine perspective. It's not the same thing. All right? But I'm not going to be dropping F-bombs and calling people all kind of derogatory gay terms to insult them, because nowadays, is that really an insult? Okay, but anyway, guys, just some things to make you think and some things to be wary of, because if I mention it to you guys, when you see it, you'll recognize it and you say, damn, that's what he was talking about. A lot of young guys and older guys too. You don't necessarily piece all these things together. All you know is that you're experiencing difficulty and discomfort dealing with certain women, and you can't quite put your finger on what's the problem. And a lot of times guys look at these women as individuals, and I know it's supposed to be the right thing to do. Oh, Allende, you're generalizing. Bro, stop it, bro. We gotta be real. At some point in time, we gotta come to the table and we gotta be real. All right, stereotypes exist for a reason. Okay, that's just, it is what it is. There's a lot of stereotypes about black men that I don't subscribe to. I don't have certain characteristics that they're necessarily thought to have. A lot of it's the media, but of course there is a lot of black guys that perpetuate certain stereotypes. All right, but there's a difference between being able to find plenty of examples, okay, that don't fit a certain narrative, and when you're struggling to find these examples. You damn near can't find these examples, okay? And I'm gonna tell you right now, whatever the hell the stigmas are about being a black man, whatever the stereotypes are about them, whatever, I'm sorry, bro. They're there, but they're really not holding guys back. All right, there's a lot of successful black men. There's a lot of black men doing what they want to do, living their best life or whatever, and they're getting along just fine in relationships. In fact, when black men are successful and they have a certain level of status or whatever, those options open up, and being black is not going to hold them back. I'm sorry, but the same cannot be said about black women. I'm sorry. I'm just being real. I'm being honest all the way through, authentic with the shit. So you tell me when a black woman's education is going to open up all these dating options for her and all these new men to pick from. All these high value men are going to want her now because she has a degree. Go ahead and show me examples of that. Okay, while you're at it, show me the black women that they were able to work their way up in the career world, and that opened up all these doors of men that they could pick from, all these high valued men now, because I've made it to a certain level in my career. Knock it the fuck off. Okay, what opens up opportunities and options for women in dating is being pleasant. And that is something that black women are definitely not associated with right now. Are there pleasant black women? I'm sure. I'm sure they are. I'm sure there's plenty of positive, pleasant American black women. Show me where they are, though. Where are they? What's the zip code? Come on, man. Knock it the fuck off, okay? The point is there's too few of them. And the fact that the overwhelming majority, all right, seem to have this attitude and this anger that so many men are identifying. Because that's another thing. Black women are in denial with this shit. They call the angry black woman thing a myth. The angry black woman myth. Really? It's a myth? Because if you ask any American, all right, if you ask any American, hey yo, just between you and me, do you think most black women are angry? They're gonna look to the left and look to the right and say, yeah, they are kind of angry, aren't they? This is what people across the board are saying. This is what they're feeling. So if people, this is the general opinion of the average black woman, then they need to do something about it. Because for the women that don't fit into that box, you're being treated the same as if you do. The same way that black women disrespect black men across the board. It doesn't matter how successful he is, how well spoken he is, how much, it doesn't matter. They have a certain disdain and hatred for all black men. Yeah, I could sit here and theorize on where it came from. I could do a whole, historical lecture and all this other bullshit. But what's the point of dwelling on the cause? Okay? And right now, I don't really see how that would be helping men. And it damn sure ain't gonna help women because they don't care. They don't care about history, and they damn sure don't want to admit this shit or, come to terms with it. So for men, your best bet is to just get the fuck away from it. Avoid it. Because it's just gonna pull you down. All right? And now black women are gonna tell you that you're abandoning them and all this kind of bullshit. They're gonna try to guilt you. Okay? Well, they want you to put the effort into tolerating this shit and, having hands all up in your face and black women yelling at you and talking to you like she's a dude. But they don't want to put that energy and that effort into just figuring out how to be more cooperative, how to even figure out what being ladylike is, figure out what being feminine is. Okay, there's a lot of guys dealing with their masculinity, but I see more guys trying to put effort into figuring out how they can become more confident and be a little bit more manly and assertive. I don't really see too many women. I mean, I do see some femininity channels popping up, and that's a great thing. It's wonderful. But there's a lot of black women that are being stubborn. They're being angry, and they're being stubborn. All right. And like I said, you could bring the horse to the water, but you can't make the horse drink. So me personally, I love it when I meet a sister that's beautiful, takes care of herself, has a great personality, great energy, is positive, blah, blah, blah. The point is, it's very sad that that's such a rarity. That's such a minority, right? That's a shame that that's so hard to come by. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. Give it some thought. Get those passports, all right? And don't take no shit off of none of these chicks, bro. You don't deserve it. You deserve better. I'm out, guys.